Hello, welcome back. Fitness Friday with Johnny Tiger. The date is August 5th, 2022. When I was a teenager, I did a lot of lifting weight, of course. That's what we're talking about. I was at the gym many hours, almost every day. And then, just as I get to 17 years old, I started to slim down a little bit. I stopped going to the gym so much and I got into swimming. I got into competitive swimming, did a lot of cycling and rock climbing, and then of course I was still doing my martial arts at the time. And then I got into dragon boating for almost 11 years before returning to doing martial arts almost full time. Um, so this is my kind of roundabout way of saying that yes, I lifted a lot of weights. I did the whole bodybuilding, weightlifting thing when I was a teenager. But then I realized that it wasn't really benefiting my martial art, my ability to uh, fight and do all that stuff. Uh, getting too bulky and not being very flexible and all that stuff and being heavy and so I started to slim down a little bit. Yeah, I know, kind of ironic. A lot of people look at me now and say, "That's you slimmed down." I'm not even joking with you. The me you're looking at now is like a really toned down version of what I was when I was a teenager. I was one chunky kid when I was a teenager, partly because I ate a lot and also I worked out a lot. But recently, I've realized that uh, I might have plateaued a little bit. What does that mean? That means no matter what is it that you're doing, cardio, or weightlifting, or calisthenic, uh, push-ups, sit-ups, medicine ball, resistance band, whatever is your thing, there comes a time when you can do a lot of it, and you are still not. All that happens is you get tired, but next day you feel like you didn't even work out. Next day you're not sore. And what's going on here is your body is now so acclimatized, so adapted to what you're doing, that doing it is no longer triggering that breaking down of muscle fiber. It's no longer triggering that uh, stress hormone. It's no longer triggering the kind of things that will force your body to go under that metamorphosis, that uh, evolutionary change that you need for you to get stronger, faster, grow bigger muscle. That is not to say that me doing 100 push-up is not doing anything. Of course, it's doing something, but most of what it's doing at this point is just maintaining what's already there. It's not stressing my system enough to make my system want to grow bigger muscle or get faster or get stronger. It's more like a maintenance work right now. So since I realized that I seem to have plateaued a little bit, it's time to change things up to make it difficult for my body and uh, sort of trigger that change, trigger that oh, we better get used to lifting weight again and all that stuff. So recently I started lifting uh, weight, mostly free weights, dumbbells, uh, again, and doing a lot of drop sets. And boy, I'm going to tell you that years ago, when I was lifting 200, 300 pounds, I couldn't do 20 push-ups without feeling like I was going to die. And push-ups and sit-ups and burpees used to be so difficult and make me so sore when I did them. And now that I can do like 50 burpees, relatively casual, not even getting sore the next day. I did some chest press drop set, and that messed my chest muscle up for 4 days. I was sore. I was happy. I was like, oh God, finally, I get that feeling back again. Finally, I feel like I did something. Finally, I feel like my muscles are uh, fixing themselves and probably growing stronger. Good, good. So since when we talk about building muscles, there's always a lot of questions. And uh, when you go online and read articles, there's so many different versions and different people that tell you you got to do this and you got to do that. You can't do this, you can't do that. All right. So um, today I got a chance to sit down with one of my really good friends who is like a pro, like he's a pro at powerlifting, and getting some input from him. We had a little Q&A session, and I'm going to share with you guys what he told me is important to know about building muscle. Hopefully, that will help you guys. A lot of it kind of in line with things that I already knew, but because he's a lot more pro than I am, it is always good to have confirmation to know that I know what I'm talking about. So, number one, a lot of articles you see on the internet will tell you you cannot gain muscle and lose fat at the same time because the logic is losing fat require you to eat less. Gaining muscle require you to eat more. So the two actions is almost contradictory. However, while this is kind of true for professionals, for people who's already worked out to a certain point, if you are a beginner, don't let that discourage you. Okay? If you are a beginner, your body is like a blank slate right now. Any bit of change you introduce it to will make a difference. So, one of the other relevant thing that we often hear is before you build muscle, you need to lose fat. You got to cut. You got to lose like 20 pounds before you start building muscle. Otherwise, it doesn't matter because your muscle will be get covered up by your fat anyway. Again, this is only true if your goal is to have one of those like uh, bodybuilding supermodel kind of physique. If your goal is to get like have all your ribs showing, have your six pack showing, have people be able to see every piece of muscle in your body, then yes, you want to lean out. You want to get your body as lean as you can before building muscle because the less fat you have, the bigger your muscles will look. That is the logic there. However, again, for beginners, don't really concern yourself too much with that because for beginners, if you don't already have a certain volume of muscle on your body and you start cutting, you start eating less, in the end, while you're starving yourself, you'll end up hurting the heck out of your body. Because what's going to happen is your body will try to cannibalize the little bit of muscle you have first. The body knows the good stuff. So whenever you starve yourself, your body will attack the muscles first before using uh, the stored up energy, the fat and stuff like that. And we've talked about this before. Your body doesn't actually just like burn fat when you are starving. It doesn't work that way. Okay, there's a bit of a conversion process going through. It's a lot more complicated than just you starving yourself and your body uh, use up the fat. It's a lot more complicated than that. So this is all to say that if you're a beginner, if you're not trying to like get that six pack look for a tournament, you don't really have to worry about cutting. You don't really have to worry about losing weight before you start gaining muscle. Um, in fact, a lot of time, while you're gaining muscles, you will gain weight anyway. So there's almost no point putting yourself through that. If you want to build more muscle, let's say you spend the last 5 months starving the heck out of yourself to lose 50 pounds. And then you start eating like crazy because you want to build muscle and you have to eat more when you build muscle. And then within 2 months, you gain 60 pounds. Well, you just starved yourself for 5 months for no good reason. Um, One thing that a lot of people neglect to tell you or don't realize is that when you are working out and when you're wanting to build muscle, you got to eat a lot of protein and you also need a lot of calorie because you're doing something that requires a lot of energy. So as long as you are eating more protein than calorie, uh, usually the format is as follows. You want to eat at least half of your body weight in grams of protein, probably slightly more. So you want to eat maybe like 60% of your body weight in grams of protein. That means like if you are 200 pounds, you want to eat somewhere around 100 to 140 grams of protein if your goal is to work out, lift weight, and build muscles. Okay? It really, like, if your goal is to build muscles, eating is so important. If you don't eat enough protein, aka meat and egg and protein shake and stuff like that, if you don't eat enough protein, it doesn't matter how much weight you're going to lift because your muscle got no material to work with. Your muscle need protein to grow. So if you want to do the extra work, you need to eat the extra protein. Otherwise, you're doing all that extra work for nothing. You end up hurting your muscle. Another question that we can ask is, so do I need to do a lot of sit-ups and crunches and stuff like that, abs, if I want to lose fat around my abs? Here's a great, good news for you guys. You actually don't. Okay? If you're working your legs a lot, your body will burn fat. You're working your arm a lot, your body will burn fat. You'll end up gaining lean muscles around whatever you're working, but fat will come from everywhere of your body. So this is to say that if you do enough arms, you do enough legs, you'll end up with big arm muscle, big leg muscle, and your stomach will get smaller because it will use fat from other part of your body wherever your body that have extra fat. That's what it's going to use. And so it's not like you use your arm, it's going to burn the fat on your arm. You use your leg, it's going to burn the fat on your leg. It doesn't work that way. The fat comes equally from everywhere in the body. So just because you want to reduce your waistline doesn't mean you have to spend all day doing waistline exercises. Now, if your goal was to build solid abs, if your goal was to build strong core, then yeah, you want to do more exercises with those body parts. But if your goal is to just reduce fat in those areas, then you don't need to target those areas. You can just do whatever you want as long as you use a lot of energy. It will burn fat. Here's another tip from the pro. A lot of people I know, when they go to the gym, they like to do things that they are comfortable with. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is like human nature. We don't like to do things that we're uncomfortable with or things that we suck at. Okay? Like, for example, when I go to the gym, I almost make a beeline for the chest press machine. Right? Because I am really good with chest press. I'm really good with bench press. I can press almost like usually I can press the entire stack or close to it. on the weight machine. Make me feel good to do that. However, here's the thing: if you can already press that much or do that many reps, that means those muscles are already pretty advanced in that part of your body, which means you targeting them, you're wasting your time, sort of. I mean, it's still good to maintain them, but this is a time when you really have to ask yourself, what am I here for? Am I here just to show off how much weight I can lift? Am I here just to work muscles that don't really need to work? Or am I here to make improvement? Or am I here to try to work on my bicep because my bicep curl sucks? Or am I here to work on my tricep because my tricep sucks? Rather than focusing a lot of time on doing squats, let's say you're already really good at squat, you can do 500 squats. There's no point doing squats anymore. You're already really strong doing squats. Okay, and you doing something that you're not very good at will force your body to change. You will actually see improvement a lot quicker, a lot more than you spending time doing things that you're already really advanced at. That is the same with martial art, right? I don't go to the gym and practice my spinning hammer fist over and over again because I'm already really good at it. I don't need like I just do it maybe 5 times, 10 times to make sure. Oh yeah, okay, I can still do it really good. Yeah, it's perfect. It's beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to go do something I'm not really good at. Maybe like that jumping side kick or that Wing Chun chain punch parry. I'm just throwing names out there to give you guys example, right? I'm going to go use my time to improve something that I'm not very good at, rather than wasting my time doing something that I'm already really good at. You can maximize your improvement. You can maximize your gym time by targeting what you suck at rather than what you're good at. Also, here's another little tidbit. If you focus on doing something that you're not very good at, even though you feel you suck, your body is actually working harder. Okay, because it's all your bodies always have to work harder. If you are doing something that you're uncomfortable with or you're not very good at, and something that feels so heavy and so tiring, and you really wish that you can go home, that's when your body actually does the work. When you are standing there doing 500 push-ups or 500 chest press, yeah, you may be impressive, but your body is not really working that hard because your body is like, okay, we are already really good at this, so we don't really need to improve on anything. We just keep doing it until we get tired. That's it. So rather than spending an hour doing things that you already excel at, your body will benefit a lot more if you just spend half of that time doing things that really make you struggle. So I know here's a couple questions that a lot of people have, and honestly, when I was little, I wish someone would have told me these things, because when I was working out, my first coach was my dad. My dad really didn't know all the scientific stuff. He didn't know muscle group. He didn't know uh, nutrition. He didn't know any of that. He just knew how to pick up a lot of weight. That's it. So he taught me the way he knew how to lift weight, and that's how I trained as a teenager. So I probably could have done a lot better if I knew a lot of things that I know today. So I want to pass this on to you guys. So a lot of people uh, that lift weight, they wonder, okay, so should I lift 200 pounds that I can barely pick up, I just lift it once and I run out of energy, or should I lift 20 pounds and then I can do 100 reps? Here's the thing, when I was little, I was told that you want to do as many reps as you want. But as we already established earlier in this episode, if you can do a lot of reps, that means doing you are already either too good at this movement or it's too light. It's time to give your body more challenge. So here is a nice little guideline. If you pick up this weight or if you sit down at this machine and you can do and you can do yeah, that's the hourly chime on my computer. Okay, so if you sit down at a machine or if you pick up your weight and by 25 reps you're still not totally tired, then it's too light. You need to add more weight. You're essentially babying yourself too much. By doing that, you'll end up wasting more time and not building enough muscle. So use that. 25 rep should be the marker. Right? By 20 rep, you should feel that you are going to die. And by 25 rep, you should feel that you can do another one. That is what needed. According to the pro that I spoke with, 25 rep, 4 sets every week. Okay, so I'm not quite sure that means like one set today, one set tomorrow, and one set the day after, or like do one set, rest for 20 seconds, and do another set. But this, he told me, let's say you're working chest, like you're doing chest press, okay, 25 reps, 4 sets. Do that every week will be enough to maintain and grow your chest muscle. Uh, for most people that have been working out for a long time, such as myself, that will just maintain. But for people who are new, this will actually make your muscle grow. So 4 sets, 25 reps maximum. Okay, if you feel that you can actually go more, then you need heavier weight. Now, what if your goal is to build strength? Now, this is interesting because I didn't know about this one either. To build strength, you need to really challenge yourself. You need to activate all your skeletal muscles, all your uh, uh, core components. Okay, what does this mean? If you pick up, if your maximum weight, when people say maximum weight, that means the weight that you can pick up for one time. Okay, just one time, no more. Like if I tell you to pick it up again, you have to rest for a little while before you can pick it up a second time. That's your maximum. And so let's say your maximum is 200 pounds. Um, if you if I give you something that's 50 pounds to pick up, you will probably do something like only using your leg, or just bend over and use your back, or just pick it up with your hand, like you lifting with your arm, right? Because it's not heavy enough. You're not using your whole body. You're not stressing your whole system. So for strength to actually increase, for your body to actually develop stronger muscle and make your strength level go up, you need to lift, you need to work with at least 65% of your maximum, which means if your max is 200 pounds, then you want to be lifting at least 120 pounds, 130 pounds. Okay, so not quite your max, but definitely heavy enough to make you go "Ugh, ugh," like that. Okay, and right off the bat, like not straining after 20 reps, 25 reps, right? So I think if you're like me, if you I you know if I give you something that's 50 pounds, and let's say your max is 200, then you can do 20, 25 reps, and probably only on the rep number 23, rep number 24, that you start to go, you start to strain like that, right? And yeah, that's what's going on. The weight that you're not using enough weight. So when you do that, even though you're straining, you are only mostly maintaining the muscle you have. Unless you are totally new at this, and it will actually force your muscle to grow a little bit. But if you are uh, a seasoned, experienced working out at the gym, like then if you want to build your strength, you want to make yourself seriously stronger, then you need to pick up that weight that is 60, 65% of your max. The kind of weight that the moment you pick it up, you're like, oh, that's kind of heavy. Huh? The kind of weight that you pick it up and you go, oh, I don't know, I think I may only be able to do 5 rep or 10 rep. That's perfect. That is the weight you want to be working with if you want to get stronger. And yeah. So anyway, that is what I got from the pro, from my good buddy Wesley today. Thank you, Wesley, for all these nice tips that I can share with everyone on Fitness Friday. We'll be back again tomorrow for some Survival Saturday. For now, have a good night and happy working out at the gym.